Nerd. This is Crafty Nerd Creations YouTube channel. I'm sorry I got all mixed up there. But this video I am going to show you how to create a Tumbler design in Canva. One thing I want you to do is make sure you measure your own tumblers before you put in the dimensions. I've actually tried making this video once already and it was too long. So I might be talking a little fast, I might be moving a little fast. Just make sure you pause whenever there's something that you might have missed. So when you put in your dimensions, you're going to make sure you change this into inches. If it is pixels, it'll give you a kind of like a warning type thing. So you change it to inches. The dimensions I use are 9.3 by 8.2. When you print it, it might be a little bit bigger. In my next video, I'm going to show you how to wrap your tumbler. When it is bigger, I'm going to show you what to do with that, I guess, with the extra, I don't know what you call it, when it's bigger, when it's too big for your cup. So the first thing I'm going to go do is my background. I actually am creating this tumbler design just for this video. So in my next video, I'm going to show you how I wrap my tumblers. In that video, I'm going to be giving this tumbler away. So if you like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and you leave in the comment done, I'll be giving that tumbler away. So what I'm doing is I'm making a basic St. Patrick's Day tumbler. So here I chose a green background, but in the backgrounds tab, because you have all these tabs, you have all kinds of different things. Sprinkles, like there it says flowers, see all. You click on that, or you can just scroll through here. All results. That means every single background that they have. There's silver glitter, there's green, I think that's glitter. That might be grass. So, just whatever theme that you're going with, just kind of explore and search. You can search. These rustic ones, the ones that look like wood, these are my recently used. I use those a lot. So now I'm going to go into elements and I'm going to add things. My biggest thing is when you say you have a theme, like right now we're doing St. Patrick's Day, make sure you just search and see what pops out at you and see what you feel like you need. There's photos, there's graphics, there's videos. I always use graphics, but I kind of eyeballed this. This looks really cool. I'm thinking about, I'm going to use this as my background instead. So when I find something like this that does not fit this square, always think about lighting and always think about when you're going to wrap the cup. So the tumbler, imagine this as like a 3-by-fold flyer or brochure, as you want to say it. So I'm going to zoom out just a tiny bit. I'm going to have where it's light right here, because if I have it dark and then I wrap it, you're going to see a seam. There's going to be a huge seam, because when it's light and then dark, I have a feeling you guys get what I'm talking about. And what I mean by this circle right here would be my focal point, because you also got to think about lighting. When it comes to doing something like this, you kind of get one shot and that's it, because once I click off of this, it won't let me click back on it when it comes to Canva. So I'm just going to keep making bigger until the whole screen is light. So now there's kind of still dark right there, so I'm going to make it a tiny bit bigger. I think that's going to be good enough. As long as you still see some shamrocks and some cute glitter, then I'm good. So now I'm going to add some text. I'm just going to pick like a basic Irish St. Patrick's Day saying, which one of them is I'm Irish. Sorry if I spell it wrong or if I don't use proper grammar. I'll change it later when I actually make the cup. So I'm going to put it up here. I'm going to change the font. When you click here for your fonts, you have all of your recently used fonts. You have your brand kit. You can do a brand kit where if you're going to do anything that has to do with your brand or your business or your company, it'll all be right here. Here's your uploaded fonts. You can upload a font if it's not in here. I'll show you how to do that in a separate video, but because I don't want to make this video super long, I'm just going to kind of pick what's in my recent fonts. So I'm going to pick this one. And if I want to make my words bigger, I can either just click on this space bar a whole bunch, or I can take this, I click on it, I hold it down, and I drag it so it makes it bigger, smaller, bigger, smaller. You can see in the text box where it gives you the size. I don't want it square, I want it to curve. If you also want other effects like shadow or lift or even like hollow out, except with this one you can kind of see that, so I wouldn't really do that. Splice. There's echo. A lot of people use this neon background, but I don't really like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to none, and then I'm going to click curve, and it curves it. Now, say it's too much of a curve. You're going to click on this, and you're going to drag it, and you're going to kind of see a circle move, and that's going to give you the path that the text is going to go on. And this is where I can adjust it like this if I want to. I actually don't like this font. I'm going to be picky. I'm sorry. It's killing me. No, don't like that either. I like to use bold fonts. So what's this one? Perfect. Awesome. I'll make it a tad smaller though. I also don't like the spacing. So what I mean by spacing is the letters kind of smushed together. So you have letter spacing that fixes the spacing of the letters, so you can see it starting to white out. And then you have line spacing. So if I had almost paragraphs, it would separate the paragraphs. So that looks good. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to enter another text box. I'm going to do add heading. Add subheading is just the same thing as add heading. It's just smaller. Add a little body. That just means a paragraph. You also have all these other templates that you can use. I use them for some things, but I don't use them for a lot of things because they're actually kind of hard to edit. But I will do a separate video on all these if you want me to. Just leave a comment in the comments below and I'll work on it. So I'm going to click on add a heading again. And just to show you how adding a subheading is the same thing, just smaller, if I click on add a subheading, that's what that means. But it looks bigger because the font is bold. But if you want to delete it, you have all of your little things up here. I'm just going to click delete. So add a heading. I double clicked on it to select all of it. I'm Irish. Every day is St. Patrick's Day. So that created a paragraph. And what I mean by paragraph is it's two, you get what I'm saying. So this is what I was talking about with line spacing, where if I do this, it gets closer, farther away, that kind of thing. I want it all on one line. So I'm going to click on this bold little line right here, and I'm going to pull it. I don't think pull it is the proper. And then if you look at this automatically comes up. It's not a setting that I have. There's a red square. That is where I like to keep all my graphics, my text, all of that, because when you wrap it, you might have to cut it shorter. You might have to, it's going to wrap around the side, stuff like that. So I like to leave that little cushion space for whatever might, if I have to cut off the top, if I have to cut off the bottom, whatever might happen. If it overlaps when you wrap it, just stuff like that. So I am now going to curve this one, and it automatically curves it down, but I want it to curve up. So I go over here and I drag it in the opposite direction, and it starts to curve, and it kind of creates that little dot in the middle. So say that's where you're going to put something, or say you already have something there, it kind of uses that as a focal point and it keeps it there. If I want it, to the side like this, I just use the little thingy and tilt it this way, but I want it back to normal. Also, if you say I totally do that and I'm like, ugh, I don't want that, and I can't get it perfect on putting it back to normal, there's this little undo button back here, and you just click it until I never moved it at all, or until then. But I can also do redo and it'll put it back. So I'm going to change this font to something fun. I'm just going to go to recent because I don't, like I said, that looks cute. That looks like, I don't know, looks like St. Patrick's Day if you ask me. Alright, so St. Patrick's Day. If you have something that you want to upload, like say you already have, you go to uploads, you upload your media, like here's all the stuff that I kind of uploaded in the past and all those fun stuff and things. That's where you have that. Photos is where it's Canva's stock photos. Audio, obviously we're not going to use that. Logos, if you want to put a logo in there. But we're just going to go to elements because that's where it's got all the fun stuff. So it's St. Patrick's Day. I'm going to click on graphics and I'm going to choose something to put in the middle here. Obviously what I'm talking about has to do with drinking. And there's a lot of 4-leaf clovers in here. Let's see, is this the one that I'm thinking of? Also, you have magic recommendations, so if you click on one, and you can, like, ooh, I really like this one. We can click on that one. I'm just going to keep this one for right now. Just because I feel like the background, yeah, it's really pretty, but I just feel like where I'm putting something just doesn't look bland, and I want to show you that up here is where it's transparency, so you can turn down the transparency. You can do that to pretty much anything. You can do it to the text, you can do it to the graphics, you can do it to the pictures, you can do that to pretty much anything. So I'm going to turn that down a tad. Now some of the graphics you can actually change the color, but this one you can't. I want to find something that, so I'm going to type in whiskey, just because St. Patrick's Day is famous. Irish people are famous for drinking whiskey. I'm going to click on graphics, and I'm just going to click on this one. So here we go, and this is what I mean by changing the color. So here's the graphics, and the way you can tell if you can change the color on something is by up here. You see these little squares. It's actually a little too big. I'm going to drag it down just a tiny bit. As you see these squares up here. So I don't know exactly what goes to what. So I'm just going to kind of like pick one, change the color, and see what happens. And looks like nothing happened. But I'm going to change it back to black just in case. Because sometimes something happens that I don't recognize. So I'm going to click on this. Still nothing. So I'm going to keep. Oh wait, the cap changed. See, when I changed it back to black, the cap changed. So I'm going to click on this one, see what this one does. Ooh, it changed these back here to that green. I kind of like that. So I'm going to keep that like that. Let's see what this one does. Oh, it changes. Okay. Okay, so that means earlier before, like this black right here was probably, one of those is probably this black, and the other ones are probably this one. But I'm going to go ahead and change that back to black. Now the white is obviously the white of the bottle, but I'm curious. I kind of like that. I kind of like that. So here I am. I've made my design. I like it. Now how am I going to print it? From Canva. You're going to click on download, and whatever dimensions that you put in Canva, it's going to download and save into your computer as those dimensions. So if you actually use just kind of like a run-of-the-mill, like just a basic default dimension on here, and then you download it and it's super tiny like a logo, or it's super huge like a piece of paper, it's because you created that on that giant piece of paper, or whatever the case may be. Up here, you can resize it. So if I click resize, sorry for my last payment failed. My debit card, like, it expired. And I haven't been able to put the new information in. But here's where you can resize it. And you could do copy and resize, or you can just fully resize it. So we are going to go back to downloading it. We're going to do it as a PNG. You can save the download settings. You can do it as a transparent background, all those things. And then you're going to click download. You're going to see it downloading right here. Now I have a Mac. I'm not exactly sure how this works in Windows, but once I'm done downloading something, it pops up as a preview. And it looks like it's, there we go. So it popped up as a preview. Now here it's got the title, I'm Irish. If you want to change the title before you download it, it's right here. I should have mentioned that. I'm sorry. So we're going to, a Mac user, like to click on this little down arrow, if it'll ever work, and change my where to my desktop, just because, yeah, we'll replace it. It's because I've already made this design. I just wanted to show you how to do it. Now I'm going to click on File, and this is where I will print it from. I will show you my print settings just for the sake of this video, and then I'll show you when I have my video of where I wrap the tumbler. So I just gotta give it a minute because my computer is super slow right now. I'm also a college student. I'm gonna click ignore. And I had to download all my class stuff on here, and I run a podcast, so my computer is a little full right now. I need to run a cleanup. I need to do an update, all that fun stuff. So here we go. So I have my printer selected. I have all my things saved to a default, so it kind of automatically does this. But, of course, it didn't do what I want it to do, so I gotta go back, click File. I don't know why it does that, but it does. I'm gonna click Print. Let's see. Here we go. I'm gonna go to Print Settings. Premium Presentation Paper Mat. Sorry, my chair is squeaky. It's gonna be high quality, and you're gonna click the mirror image. Now, some people like to go to color options and go to advanced settings, and they like to change this Epson Vivid to Adobe RGB, and some people say that makes a big difference with their colors and making their tumblers pop. I personally like to keep it at this Epson Vivid. I feel like it's actually, but I don't know. To me, it looks better than the other way, but it's up to you. It's up to your discretion. If you want to try it out one time, go for it. It's completely up to you. And then you're going to click print. But I'm not going to print it right now. So check out for my next video on how I wrap my tumblers, how I press it, and I'm also going to put one in an oven. So you know how I could do it in a convection oven. I hope this video helped. If it did, give it a like. If you have any questions about anything that has to do with sublimation, I just made 30-something keychains. I make dog tags, or dog ID tags, pet ID tags. What else do I make? Just get at me, and I'll make a video and see how it can help you. I hope y'all have a great day.